All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I'm Is There No One Else? And the video I'm bringing today, we are going to go over the red CP tree. Now, I've been talking a little bit about this tree to a few people in the Discord, and there's some concerns for strength here. So I'm just going to read them off, kind of talk about them myself, and go through the pros and cons. This is before I've tested anything. I've just been looking at it for about the last 30 minutes or so. Definitely some strong things in the red CP tree, but you have to kind of weigh it against what already exists in the current CP tree. So with that being said, let's dive into it. Now, we've already did warfare. Let's dive into the red tree, which is what? Fitness? Fitness. All right, I've already equipped points, so we're just going to start. We're gonna remove everything. There we go. All right, so this is what it looks like before we put anything in. You see right here, we'll start on the right hand side. So over here we have Tireless Guardian, reduces the cost to block by 20 stamina per stage. So let's put 10 points in here to unlock some other stuff. And you see each tree branches here. Reduce the cost of Bash by 45 stamina per stage. Bash isn't super effective right now. So in my opinion, I mean, there's a few different ways to scale it. So maybe it's a little bit better now once this patch releases. But yeah, I just don't see a point in really equipping a bunch of CP here right now until we test some more stuff. When we have on guard, while immune to crowd control, increase the amount of damage you block by 2% per stage. So after you CC break, you pop in a move pot, those sorts of things, you can reduce 10% more damage while you block. So you're already blocking a lot of damage. Okay, so I could be wrong on this, and you guys can tell me what you think, but Footman, there's a set out there called Footman, and it used to be a popular tank set, and it became unpopular because it's 8% damage mitigation while blocking, if I remember correctly. You already mitigate so much damage while blocking. Mitigating more, it's not a bad thing. It's just it's going to be very niche as far as how it goes. Because it's not just you're mitigating 10%, it's 10% of whatever else is left from blocking. So it's not, you're already blocking so much, it's just a bunch of diminishing returns, I'm pretty sure, unless they change how this works. So this does look powerful, but you have to also add it to your champion bar. So in order to equip this, let's just put 10 points for the 2%. And then we'll assign it. We've got to put it up in our tree. Now it's equipped, and now we actually get to utilize this passive. We can put points in here. If we don't equip it, it doesn't count. Bashing Brutality, increase your bash damage by 120 per stage. So 120, 240, 360, 480, 600. We can have 600 bash damage in the CP tree. Okay. Nimble Protector, increase your movement speed while blocking by 3% per stage. So 15% more movement speed after blocking. You know, like when you're blocking, you don't move very quickly. So it is what it is. All this is just, you know, more block-based builds. So some sword and board builds will definitely get use out of quite a few of these things. And then increase the amount of damage you can block by 4% per stage up to 20. So this one you don't need to equip. If you look at each of these trees, let's put 10 points in here just to show it. Or 20 points, sorry. 20 points per stage. If it doesn't say it on there, you don't have to equip it. So none of these you have to equip. This one you do. This one you don't. This one you don't. So a few of them, it'll tell you whether or not it has to be equipped to be active. Hasty, increase your movement speed when sprinting by 2%. We're going to put 10 points in here to unlock this middle tree, and we'll go through these. Hero's Vigor grants 280 max health per stage. So we always want to be more healthy. Let's put points into here, and let's go clockwise. Mystic Tenacity, reduce the duration of elemental status effects applied to you by 5% per stage. So we know that there are multiple different status effects being applied by literally everything. This could be useful to have. And we have Survival Instincts. While afflicted with the status effect, your core combat skills cost 5% less per stage. And you see add to champion bar to activate. So in order to have this, we have to have points into it and then have it on our bar. So this is one of the 4 things we can have active. It doesn't exist just by putting points into it. But yeah, let's put a couple points into here, unlock it, and we'll show you what happens. So we'll put 10 points into here. So now we have it. We can assign. There we go. We have our next status effect. So 5% cost reduction, I'd actually invest quite a few more, I think, depending on what core combat skills means. I'll have to test that later. Return to life after resurrection with 10% more resources per stage. So you can have 50% more resources when you get revived. Could be pretty useful in a trial situation. Could be pretty useful in a group situation where you're just dying a lot in general. Spirit Mastery, decrease the time it takes to resurrect an ally by 33%. Reduced revive time in the CP tree is not something I'm looking forward to be honest. There's already multiple different forms of speed times people are already using, and move reses. I mean, it's already annoying, but just the fact that this is now part of a CP passive, just, yeah, no. I don't like it. Arcane Alacrity. While shielded, your dodge roll costs 160 less stamina per stage. This seems kind of interesting, but I mean, if you have a shield on, how much are you dodge rolling? So I don't know. It's interesting for shield-based builds. So if you're a Sorc or anybody like that, it could be interesting. Obviously, light armor took a reduced cost to dodge roll, so we're going to see a lot more roly-poly light armor builds out there. So maybe that is actually beneficial. Bastion, increase the effectiveness of your damage shields and damage against shielded enemies by 8% per stage. So this could be useful, once again, for Sorcs and whatnot, and fighting Sorcs. Shield Master, reduce the cost of your shields by 2%. That'll be beneficial for them as well. You see, each tree has its own thing. So the right tree was all sword and board stuff. This middle tree, a lot of it is revive stuff and shield stuff. Increase your stealth detection by 1 meter per stage. Strategic Reserve, gain 50 health recovery for every 10 ultimate you have. This actually could be very, very powerful. So if you... Yeah, 50 health recovery for every 10 ultimate. We put points in here. We have to activate it on our bar in order to have it. But yeah, 50 times 5. Or sorry, 500 times 50. It's a lot of health recovery. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, so we're going to talk about this one a little bit. 50 health recovery for every 10 ultimate you have. So if you have 100 ultimate, you're going to have 500 health recovery. If you have 500 ultimate, you're going to have 2,500 health recovery. So 2,500 HP recovery if you get to 500 ult. Now, there are some pros and cons to this. The minute you use your ult, you're going to start losing your HP recovery. But if you're running for your life from a group and you're stacking ulti-gen, like a certain Arcasis, well, I mean, I'm running stage 3, so it wouldn't be super beneficial for me. I don't know. It's powerful. It's definitely powerful, but if you're getting beat on to a point to where you're generating that kind of ultimate, I don't know. I mean, 2,500 health recovery is a lot. It's a lot, but it's very niche on a few specific builds that you could really utilize this. And the first one I'm thinking of is high health Magdans. Something with high health to where you just don't really need to use your ultimates a lot to stay alive. You could build more and more tanky, and then, yeah, you'd just be harder to kill, and then you could use your ultimate as like a last resort. But this seems a bit high to me. You have to equip it on your bar in order to have it. It can make you more tanky. Like if you're running a Balorg type build and you're waiting and waiting in order to build up a bigger ult to kill people, it's going to make you more tanky as you do it. Yeah, with other forms of HP recovery, that's pretty interesting that you can have that much. Siphoning spells would restore 300 magicka per stage whenever you kill an enemy. So you can have 1,500 magicka per stage for 50 points invested, 1,500 stamina per stage. You have to put this on your champion bar. So if you kill somebody and you want that 1,500 stamina, you have to equip it on your bar. So you see there's a lot of very powerful things in this tree, but you can only equip 4 of them. So although there's a bunch of stuff and you're like, holy crap, like I want a lot of this stuff, you can only choose 4. Yeah, so we did those. We got Hasty done. Sprinter, reduce the cost of sprint by 20%, by 20 stamina per stage. And then we have over here, Tumbling, reduce the cost of dodge rolling by 120 stamina per stage. So let's throw a few points into here to unlock everything else over here. We'll put some points into here also just to unlock this. So yeah, so then we have Rousing Speed, reduce the cost of sprint by 50 stamina per stage while you're immune to crowd control. So when you CC break, You can have reduced costs for sprint speeds. For sprinting, this also has to be on your champion bar. So although this looks nice, I don't know if you're really going to use this on many other over other champion trees. Expert evasion. Your next roll dodge is free of cost. After consuming this effect, you cannot gain it again for 30 seconds. This also has to be on, I mean, this is pretty nice. Your next roll dodge is free of cost. So every 30 seconds, potentially if you're dodge rolling a lot, having a free cost dodge roll could actually be pretty beneficial on a few specs. So we're getting into dodge rolling and tumbling. This is the cost of dodge rolling by 120 stamina per stage. We already had tumbling in the other tree at our CP 1.0. But yeah, you can build into it here also. So let's then branch over here to the side. Defiance, reduce the cost of break free by 110 stamina per stage. Obviously, we're going to put a ton of points into here because we're going to be break freeing a lot. That's definitely going to be a tree that I'm going to build into. Juggernaut, while immune to crowd control, you take 2% less damage per stage. Now, this looks honestly beneficial for a class like a Magplar. Actually, a lot of classes, but having that damage mitigation while being able to go offensive. So the biggest problem on a Magplar, for instance, is being able to turn and burn. So pop your move pot and staying on the offensive bar. The fact that I could potentially have 10% damage mit while I have my immovable pot up because I'm immune to crowd control is actually pretty beneficial to where I can finish and secure kills. This could actually be very beneficial for 1vx. Outnumber 1vx, having that damage mitigation when you pop your move pot so you can go offensive instead of being defensive at that point in time could be very, very nice. And once again, it's a nice bonus that has to be added to your champion bar to equip 50 points. Slippery, when you're affected by a disabling effect, you automatically break free for no cost. After using this effect, you become winded and cannot trigger this effect or others like it for 21 seconds. I mean, automatically breaking free for no cost is always nice. So this is every 4 CCs, you'll be able to CC break roughly for free. It's not bad, but you have to equip 50 points into it and equip it on your bar. So once again, although this isn't bad, are you going to put this on your bar over some of the other things? Unchained. Here we go. So in order to get over here, we have to put 50 points into this in order to lock Unchained, in order to put this on our bar. When you use Break Free, the cost of your next stamina ability used within 5 seconds is reduced by 11% per stage. And then we have Rejuvenation. Grants 3 health, magic, and stamina recovery per stage. And you have to also add this to your champion bar. So 5 points should be 15 of each, and you have to equip it on your bar. So there's definitely some interesting things here. Ironclad grants 34.6 armor per stage. So instead of just flat damage mitigation, it's armor instead. So you can make yourself tankier. Peace of Mind increases magic and health recovery while immune to crowd control by 40 per stage. Once again, that's pretty cool. So 40 per stage, 5 stages, you can have 200 magic and health recovery right here. Up here, increase the duration of the damage of the time you are immune to crowd control by 3% per stage. This is pretty huge. So this also has to be in your champion bar. So if you CC break, so 3, 6, 9, 12, so 15% for 50 points. So you have 15% increased crowd control immunity. What is it, 6 seconds per stage? So roughly per CC immunity. So when you CC break, you have roughly 6 seconds. So 15% of that is roughly just under what? It's about a second, roughly. So you get 7 seconds by investing 50 points into this, and then you have to put it on your champion tree to activate. Obviously, when you put it in a move pot, you're going to have longer cooldown. So 15% of what, the 10 seconds is quite a bit nicer. So you'll have 11.5 seconds at that point, which isn't bad. Like, it's a lot, but increasing duration of crowd control is actually quite nice because that's just a lot less stamina you have to deal with for CC breaking and all those other sorts of things. So once again, very cool, but it has to be on your champion bar. You can't just have it passively. And then finally, Boundless Vitality grants 28 max health per stage. This also has to be on your bar in order to get. So when I'm looking at this, I'm definitely seeing a few things to where that could be abused. For instance, health recovery for 10 ultimate. So you get 2,500 health recovery here. You can also stack armor here, which for a set like Alessian, which gives you health recovery based on your resistances, you could stack health recovery in that way. There's a few different ways to where this could actually like abuse things, and that's just the way the CP tree is going to be initially. My initial thoughts on seeing this is, yes, there are a lot of strong passives. There are a lot of things that look pretty good. However, the things that look good have to be added to your champion bar, and you can only have 4 of them. So although all these things look really nice, you could only have 4. And so, yeah, it's definitely going to take some fighting people to see the differences and to really find where the abuse can come in. There's definitely some ways that I can see on paper that this can be abused in a pretty gross way. But I think it's some very specific builds. I think it's very specific builds. And yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see this red tree get some adjustments, to be honest. So, but yeah, that's the overall red tree. I'm going to leave this video here. Obviously, once we get more in depth into CP and fighting people and whatnot, we'll be able to see exactly what all these different things do, and you know how we can manipulate some things and what's really strong and what's not. So yeah, overall, pretty interesting stuff. Want to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.